I'm recording.
Sweet. All right. Hello, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 473. I forgot the 4 part. I knew it was like 73, but I forgot. It doesn't matter. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the man on the ones and twos, Mr. Paul Despawn.
I'm sorry. I just want to say I am no longer referred to as Paul Despawn. I am now Elden Lord Despawn.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that. We'll get into
Correct.
that. I'm sure. I'm so. I am so. Elden Lord Despawn.
Hi.
I love that little. If you guys are listening to the podcast, you guys got to go to the video and just watch the hand gesture these one just did.
And of course, the one and only Elden Lord Crash. Hello.
Don't call me Elden Lord. Why are you calling me Elden Lord?
Apparently, if you beat an Elden Ring, you're an Elden Lord now.
I mean, you wouldn't know about that, so I guess I understand why you would assume that.
Look, we'll get into it. This is My Xbox Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. Remember, you can support the show financially. Patreon.com/MCFixer. Find us on all podcast services. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on Twitch if you haven't already. Shout out to our Patreon producer, as always, Mr. Aaron Guard. Boys, you been good before we get into the topic of the show? Everything good? You missed me? I wasn't gone really, but you missed me?
Yeah. It's weird. Look, it is weird because, like you say, we haven't really missed you because you've not technically been away for us. Like,
I was. I'm back home.
Yeah.
I'm back home.
You're back home now.
I'm back home. Even though no big deal, guys. When I go on holiday, I still do the podcast. I'm expecting the same from you, Despawn, and I'm expecting the same from you, Crash. Matt P, you're dead to me, and if you listen to this episode, you're dead to me even more. He faked having COVID this week. He faked having COVID to miss the podcast, everyone. The commitment isn't there. I think we should have a vote on if he should be on the podcast anymore.
I can confirm nor deny whether he is actually faking it. I don't think he is, but
You call me a liar?
Yes,
Yes.
Me specifically.
Yeah, you specifically. I'm saying Matt is not a liar. Matt would never do that. Matt loves us. Fix, on the other hand, I think he might kick us down the stairs and not to leave a review.
Speaking about kicking us down the stairs, Crash, check the review.
Yeah, there's a review. I already saw it.
Check the podcast reviews.
Right now.
Let's do it right now. Check the podcast reviews, Crash. Any new podcasts? Let me know.
Let's see. I'm curious. I wonder. No way we got a new review.
What?
No way.
No, whatever.
Oh, wow. A review on Monday. From Defo Not Fixer. Wow. Really? 5 stars.
Good.
And the review is 5 stars. Better than horses. Nice, direct, and to the point. This podcast is certified better than horses.
By not MC Fixer. Crazy.
Yeah. So this is definitely not Fixer. It might be MC Fixer. We don't know about that.
Could be. So yeah, the story behind this one was I was in the queue for Chick-fil-A and I said to Haley's cousin, "Hey, give me your phone." And she was like,
"Did you kick her?"
Why? She was, I kicked her out of the car. Yeah, it wasn't downstairs.
No stairs.
They don't really have any stairs in Texas, I'll be honest. They all have masonette's houses, which is interesting.
Ranches, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The ones I go to anyway. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm going to review my podcast. Don't worry, I'm going to do it on your mum's phone and your dad's phone as well." And they wouldn't give me their phones.
Weird.
I mean, apparently when a British guy's like, "Yo, give me your phone," apparently it's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, a British guy from the end said, "Give me your phone." I just generally get like PTSD, but
Despawn. It was one time, all right? It was one time. You got robbed one time.
I want my phone back. Fix. Give me.
It's not happening. It's not happening. But yeah, we got one more review. I did my bit. Now it's time. Your turn to do yours. British people as well, or EU people, I should say. Review the goddamn podcast. We haven't had a new review since January. Shout out to the people who do it. But if you haven't, go and do it. All right, topic of the show this week, boys. The SAG-AFTRA members who work on video games have gone on strike again. I don't even want to get into like the nitty-gritty of this, but for the people who don't know what SAG-AFTRA for short, voice actors, people who work into production and things like that, correct? I'm getting that right, Despawn?
It is I can't remember the last half, but it's a Screen Actors Guild, basically. it is the union that control like covers video games, movies, television. Basically, anyone who works within the industry who wants to be unionized. To be fair, a lot of it you need to be part of the union to like work in some areas. But
so, to the big companies that you guys would have heard of who are definitely affected by this, you're looking at Activision, you're looking at Disney, you're looking at EA, you're looking at Insomnia, you're looking at WB, and you're looking at Take-Two as well, of some of the bigger names that are included in this. Already confirmed, GTA will not be affected by this. Yeah. I know selfishly, I know, I'm sorry. I'm a corporate shill. I'm horrible. I know. But that was my biggest worry, was will my GTA be affected? Let's be honest, it probably means that online content will be affected and maybe DLC if they were planning on doing that. Who knows, with the way GTA is going to come out, it's going to make $1 billion and they might not do DLC again. We'll see. But how are you feeling about this? I mean, it's the big talking point on it, obviously, is that they've been in negotiations now for 2 years. And the big sticking point at the moment is a hot topic right now within many industries, which is AI. How are you feeling about it, Despawn?
Firstly, totally behind them going on strike. They are well within their rights and should be protecting themselves. Like I say, with this new... So it's specifically generative AI, not just the use of AI in general, but it is generative AI. So using AI prompts and things like that to create content from AI algorithms. I think the biggest sticking point that I've heard. So from what I understand, there is 25 points within this, like these discussions that they've been having with SAG-AFTRA and the industries, and it is all sticking on one point, and the major point being protecting basically mocap actors and voice actors as well. But yeah, protecting them and giving them the rights within their contracts to say that their performances are not going to be then just retooled and used for generative AI so that they never have to hire them again. And if they do, it has to be, they have to have the rights to do that and it has to be signed off and they get residuals from that kind of thing. So yeah, so it is a very weird and interesting sticking point, but it is a very important one as well because, this is people's livelihoods. And I think the big argument is people have been saying that the industries have been saying that mocap and things like that, it's not actors, it's data. And I think that's been the main argument, is that we can't really put support for data in there, but it's not, because you're putting in support the people that are producing that data and creating that data, which is the mocap and voice actors.
Crash, how you feeling about all this? There's a lot of different talking points here, right? Really, you broke it down very, very well there, Despawn. So I do appreciate it. As a man who's been on holiday and hasn't followed the news, I do appreciate it a lot. Crash, how you thinking? What are you feeling about all this?
Yeah, I think I kind of mirror Despawn's thoughts on it. I think good on them for going on strike. I think it's the right move for them. I do know that when the strikes were happening for movies and TV shows and things like that, one of the big takeaways afterwards was that there was no actual ground made for AI with video games. So I'm not too surprised this ended up happening. I think there definitely needs to be discussions, and I agree. I don't think you can view mocap actors as data, because that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you both. I hate to be a yes podcast, that annoys the hell out of me. So, yeah, I do agree with you both. And we do have to protect ourselves at this point, anybody in with these tools. And yeah, it's that weird thing of like, yeah, why would I want you to use what you're paying me for once to then put me out of a job later on down the line? Which I don't know how they're going to combat it in full. Like, I think a deal will be made, obviously. Like, a deal will be made. I don't know how it will be made, but maybe they'll be paid more, or maybe there'll be something put in place. Because we've seen these strikes go on for a long time beforehand. It's not like they don't give up easy, which is a great thing. Standing by your gun is amazing. The only thing that worries me a little bit is we saw this happen last time, and I believe, again, I could be talking about my butt a little bit, but I believe like someone like Troy Baker is not even a part of this. And I remember last time, if I remember this rightly, he was still working, and we saw a lot of. Again, we see a lot of Troy Baker in video games anyway, and not to point out just Troy Baker. I'm sure there's many people who are not a part of unions that are going to continue working. It's usually them that get a lot of the jobs. We even saw it with Capcom, right? I'm pretty sure Capcom moved away from using union talent, if I'm not mistaken. Hence why the voice actor for Frank West is not back in Dead Rising 1, the remake. So. Yeah, it's a real interesting one. I hope it gets resolved as quickly as possible. I just don't know where AI is so new, and what it can do is so powerful. We've seen that with Adobe After Effects, Adobe Photoshop, and many other things, ChatGPT and things like that. That I'm a fan of AI. I like using it as a tool, and I do think people who learn to use these tools are going to be the ones that advance themselves quicker, because I don't think it's going to go away. But this is such a specific case, right? Like you were saying, data driven as well. It's like, how do you figure that out? I'm glad I'm not the one having to. I've got to be honest. Like, do you, in your head, these ones, do you have an idea? Have you thought about it enough to go, oh, this is what I would do?
So yeah, I guess the what I would do is it would be written into contracts that if you do a mocap or a voice acting role, then it has to be in your contract that if it is going to be used for generative AI, either A, you have to sign it off to be included, or B, if you say no, then it's not used as part of that data set. And then B, obviously, if you do sign it off, that you get residuals for use of your data in that aspect, so you still get paid. So you can't put yourself out of a job by agreeing to it. You are still going to earn money from it. And I think, yeah, it's just those protections need to be in place. So it's not, I think we've seen it, like you say, it's relatively new, but it is very powerful. And I think we've seen that kind of unfiltered power, like with no kind of safeguards in place, can lead to some very, unprecedented things where, you can get a bit like negative on it. Like, you've seen people use AI to create porn of famous people. You've seen them using their voices to train it so you can make fake videos of them saying wild things. I think, was it Jordan Peele who did one where he basically made a AI video of him saying some nasty stuff, and then within the video is like, and all of this is fake. I'm not even really saying any of this. This is all just AI creating this. It's a dangerous slope to be a part of, and I think they need to put those protections within their contracts, and I think that's what they need to be doing. I will say, you were worried about, like, is this going to go on for too long? I think the fact that it is like one sticking point compared to I think we're referring to things like the writer's strike and things like that, where those had like a load of different points that AI was one of many, where the AI seems to be the only one that's a sticking point on this. So I think they've agreed on, if I remember the reporting, I think it's 25 of 26 points have been agreed on, and AI is the only one that they're kind of like stuck on at the moment.
Clearly big enough to strike over, though.
Yeah,
this is not we're going to keep working through it. This is definitely. It's a sticking point for a reason, right? Whether it's 1 point or 20 points, I get what you mean. Obviously, it's a lot easier to resolve 1 point than it is to resolve 20 at a time. But clearly, the conversations that are being had right now are these companies that are like, hell no, we can save a lot of money. They're not thinking in 5 years, in 10 years. They're thinking in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, because whatever happens now is going to set precedent moving forward, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
I'd imagine for them also it's a case of like, we're going to collect all this data, we're going to create our own AI, and then it's like, hey, you need data for like whatever the case is, mocap or something like that. We can rent you our data, we can rent you our AI, and you can use it for your game, whatever the case is. I'd imagine like stuff like that popping up as well, which is,
that sounds like Epic. That's the only person I can, like, you see what they do with like some of their stuff already, right? With like
Unreal
Fortnite
Engine
stuff and the Unreal Engine and stuff like that, right? Like that's literally where I'm like, oh yeah, I can see why this is a problem. I can see why this might be. I can see why this might be problematic. Very cool. For a dum-dum like me, I'm like, hey, I can make games now. Look at me, I'm so smart. Just like anyone who's probably trying to write a book right now, right? They're like, if your dream was to write a book, you see ChatGPT come along, you're like, wow, I can put my ideas down onto a page and not have to do half the work. Yeah, you still got to change it and things like that. With games, it's a little bit different. I imagine game devs are very much like, hey, I created that mount. Mm-hmm. I know I made that bunny hop. I know I made that over the shoulder, whatever. Like I can guarantee there's who can see their work when it's been. I'm sure that's happened before, right? Where someone's seen their work and it maybe weren't done by them, and they've gone, oh.
We literally had it like in the last few weeks with the first Descendant story where item icons were popping up from Destiny in there.
Oh.
It's like, people recognize their work. So so my problem with this, and I think without my issues with AI and stuff like that, my main issue with this is the lack of originality it will lead to. If everyone is using the same mocap data, and you're just like you're downloading the data from, like you say, the Unreal Engine store.
Walk 1, walk 2, walk 3, walk 4.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like, oh, like I recognize that from that game, and that game. It's like that attack effect is, it's the same from 40 games now. It's like it lessens the originality of video games for me, and I think that's a worrying thing in itself. But again, the main thing for me is just like protecting workers' rights. These people who make our games for us, and then, get the short end of the stick because the CEO wants an extra $1 million in his bonus, and he thinks he can get that from just using AI instead of using real people. Building profits on the back of the workers. You should protect those workers, I think.
Agreed. Good place to stop. I agree. All right, let's do what's been in our box. Despawn, kick us off. What have you been playing?
I have been playing Elden Ring. I am now in the DLC as well. But yeah, my life has become nothing. If you are following me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, you will see. It is basically, my updates have generally been, I hate this boss fight. Oh, I beat the boss. Oh, I hate this boss fight now. I beat the boss. So, the classic Elden Ring gameplay loop. Except for Melania, who I just ate that boss. I am so bad. I've kind of given up on them for a little while. But yeah, I have been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I am now an Elden Lord. I have finished the story. I have not done a New Game Plus because I wanted to play the DLC and I didn't want to make it any harder for myself. But yeah, I've been playing a ton of Elden Ring, and that's basically it. I am now an Elden Lord.
My number one question for you is... Do you feel sad that you didn't play it at its hype with people like Crush and Matt when they were absolutely geeking out about the game, and now you've beaten it? And still, people still love Elden Ring. I'm not saying they don't, but like, is there a part of you that's like, damn, I wish this would have clicked when everybody else was playing it?
No, well, yeah, no. Like, I always like enjoying that group mindset of like enjoying something together, and like we could talk about like, did you do this? Did you do that? It's like. No, I have that at the moment. Like, I've got a bunch of friends that are currently playing through it as well because they're trying to get DLC ready. So I've got the group chat popping off every now and then. Like, I'm still trying to beat Morg this. It's like, well, you're a scrub because I did it. So, suck it, nerds. But yeah, no. So I still have that. But I think when it was in its zeitgeist and like everyone was excited for it, I wasn't in the mindset for that game. Like, it is well documented in my own personal stuff that I kind of like had a bit of a breakdown trying to play it. And I had to take a step away from streaming and gaming and stuff like that. I think there was obviously wider issues, but that definitely kind of like exacerbated it or kind of like highlighted it. And I just don't think I would have been in the mindset to do it at that time. When now that I'm doing it at my own time, my own pace, I'm not trying to beat the bosses for anyone's sake except for my own and bragging rights. Because 3/4 of us here are Elden Lords. Fix. Gotta step it up, man. You are so close as well. You are so close.
I'm fighting. Like, I'm not even.
I'm fine. Totally fine.
Worried.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
I said I would beat the game. Like, and I do. You know how my clock works on end of the year. That's how my clock works. Like, so for me, I said I'd beat it. I'll beat it.
Okay.
I'm one boss away. I've done a perfect crash right now. Where I have lined it up perfectly of like, oh yeah, everything is
Sit down
aligned
one more time
for
and
me.
I'll finish it. I'll beat it in no time.
I could literally message Jetty right now and be like, yo, Elden Ring. And Jetty would be like, let's go.
Wait.
Sorted.
Yeah, it's super easy.
I was going to say, no offense to Jetty. I love you, Jetty. You're amazing. But F Jetty, you've got this Elden Lord now. I can carry you for anything. Except Melania.
Wait, which one's Melania?
She's like the you would not follow.
okay.
She's like the optional like boss in the game. And it's like everything gears up towards her in the base game as being like the thing to beat. Like Mog is one thing, but yeah, Melania is a whole different kettle of fish. But yeah,
Look, okay. I won't do it, so I'm not worried. I literally bought the game in the DLC just to support the game in the DLC.
Fair.
I'll probably never get to the DLC.
I got you. I'll get you for it.
Well, no, there'll be you, there'll be Matt, and there'll be Crash to have a sensible argument of where it should go on the list. I don't think I'm going to need to. Realistically, even my opinion on that isn't going to count enough. Because I don't know the game enough. I need to be carried through. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. Crash or Diesel, you got anything else you've been playing before we move on?
No.
Okay, didn't think so. Crash, you been playing anything?
I played a little bit more First Descendant.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to give it another try and see how I'm vibing with it. And I think it's officially in the I'll wait and try it again later phase for me. I just think the loop of the game.
You played it solo, right?
I played it solo, yeah. So I have to try it with other people, but I don't know. With games like these, even if playing with other people, I still need to be able to play it on my own to like just enjoy it sometimes. And I don't know if this has the leaks for that for me.
You're a bit of a loner, aren't you?
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
And the game's designed for like 4-player co-op. Like Crash is just on the game. Like, Crash, what are you doing? I'm playing Destiny. Why did you hit me up? You know. I'm like, fuck's sake, man. This fucking guy. I remember just watching you stream. It's like, I'm just chilling, just like getting laid back, just like playing Destiny. I'm like, this fucking guy. Like. But is that all you've been playing? Is that all you tried? Was First Descendant?
Yes, I have. What's the new Capcom game? I have that installed. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
The Game Pass one.
Yeah, that it has been getting like
decent
better reviews than I would have thought. Yeah.
I played that again. I've been on a plane. I haven't done anything. I tell you what I did do though. Not what I played. I started watching anime.
Oh, which one?
I watched Rising Impact.
Oh no, that one.
Yeah, it's a Netflix one. It's about golf.
Oh,
I get. Whoa!
Okay.
Why did you? What? What's in my? Hey, why is it all gone quiet? Why is Chris looking away from the screen? What's wrong with that?
He's currently looking at Rising Impact.
What you're watching?
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I even watched the episode with Japanese VO and subtitles.
Damn. Okay, how's that?
Yeah, it was better, way better. It's way better than English, way better. But I just can't do it. It takes my enjoyment away from it a little bit too much. Because there's one character that's like got a really annoying English voice. That really annoying me.
Is it a little kid?
No, I love him.
Oh,
Fresh. You know how much I hate kids. Yeah. This kid is damn cool in video games and in real life as well. I'm sorry, everyone. Listen, I'm sorry. Don't ask me to hold your kid, all right? Just don't. If you ever meet me, I'll high five your kid if they're old enough, but don't ask me to hold them, all right? I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. But yeah, I watched that on the plane ride back. I played a tiny bit of Prince of Persia, Rogue on the plane,
Prince.
the tiniest bit. But yeah, other than that, no. I played X-Defiant, which at this point everyone's bored of me. It's double XP weekend, so
yeah, fair.
I'm out here just grinding skins and things like that. So yeah.
So this is how I know I'm obsessed with Elden Ring at the moment, because keep missing your alerts that you've gone live, and then like 4 hours later, I'll go to watch it, and it's like, oh, he's
done.
He's done. I was like, sorry, I've just beaten 2 bosses. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
To be fair, I've only streamed I did like a 4-hour stream yesterday and like a 2-hour today. I was just like, I'm still trying to get back into the swing of things.
I get that.
But yeah, the plan is to check out Once Human this week. The plan's also to check out the Capcom game Chris was talking about. Still haven't played Still Wakes the Deep. Haley is off though, obviously for half term. So
time.
Got a lot of games to play right now, and I want to get them done as quickly as possible now because I'm scared I'm going to fall behind if I don't get through this little summer period. There's not too much to play, but there's enough that I feel like I need to get my hands on.
What's the next big thing coming?
I think it would be Black Myth. I don't think that there's too much coming out.
Black Myth getting delayed on Xbox as well. So
yeah.
So. I'm trying to think what is coming. Let me see if we can. Let me see if I can find something. Oh, what are we looking for? August, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like there is something coming in August, like as well as Black Myth. I can't remember what it was.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that was Star Wars at the end of it. Like towards the end, yeah.
You got for games that I'm interested in, you've got SteamWorld Heist 2. I really love SteamWorld Heist 1. Black Myth. You've got Dustborn, Concord. Not sure I'm gonna play either of those. Monster Jam. Obviously, I went to the Monster Truck thing, played Monster Jam. Very arcadey, monster trucky game. Quite a lot of fun, so I'll be playing that. And then you have Shadow of the Ninja Reborn and Star Wars. So yeah, while we're on the topic of Star Wars, obviously, if you guys saw the latest gameplay trailer, the gameplay that came out.
Is that the leak that dropped out? Yeah. No, I avoided it just for I don't like for those kind of things. I don't want to watch a leak of stuff. I'd rather either experience it myself or see the official releases.
Yeah,
because it don't ruin anything.
It very much feels like there's a lot of people. I feel like people are bagging on Ubi for like no reason. It really feels that way. Everyone I'm talking to who has played the game, who went to the preview events and played the game, says the game looks fine. Obviously, a lot of them played on PC, and then people who played on console saying it's not looking amazing. Obviously, reserve judgment until I play it myself, and I'll give you an opinion. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt, etc., etc. But yeah, I did see the gameplay that came out. I was like, okay, interesting. I do think people are bagging on Ubi a lot lately, which is normal for the industry. It feels like Ubi and EA get a lot of backlash on literally everything, but this seems like a strange one. Like linked gameplay that we don't even know the builds, we don't know how, we don't know anything,
I think this one's in a really unfortunate situation where it's Ubisoft and people are bagging on it, but it's also Star Wars and people are bagging on it, and Star Wars fans can be very vitriolic as well. So it's just like two fandoms that are just, because I'd imagine there's a lot of people who saw it and did enjoy it, but those people tend to be on the more quiet side.
Yeah, the non-vocal minority, right? I feel like, that was good. Let's keep it moving.
I just kept it moving.
Keep it moving.
I refer to them as the quiet majority because it's usually the vocal minority.
You're right. Yeah, very, very interesting. All right, let's get into this week's dashboard then, shall we, boys? First up, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I'm sure you already know this, but you can now get it in Game Pass. Obviously, we spoke about the price hike last week on the podcast when it comes to all things Game Pass. But yeah, you can now play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 via Xbox Game Pass. Another little tangent. I played, I streamed while I was there. I played Fortnite for one match on my aunt's TV. They had the Samsung TV.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought my controller with me, so I just connected it all. Worked flawlessly.
Yeah.
I have to say, a little bit of lag here and there, but considering I'm out in bumfuck nowhere on a ranch, pretty darn good, if I'm being honest. So I think I must have got an older Samsung TV or like we said, no, because theirs is Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi.
Theirs is Wi-Fi as well, though, but it could be the Wi-Fi card. Yeah, but works really well. Just to transition into that, I was showing them Game Pass and things like that, and then I played Fortnite. It worked fine. Clicked another game and was like, oh, I don't have Ultimate. So I couldn't play anything else. But I didn't realize that. So free to play games you can still play via Game Pass xCloud. It's just the paid games that you can't. So good piece of information that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, any other free-to-play games that maybe are going to come to Xbox that might blow up or whatever, you'll still be able to play them via xCloud, even without Ultimate.
Yeah, I remember that being a big thing when it launched when Fortnite launched on Game Pass through cloud, because they used it as a big selling point of like, look, you can go try Game Pass now. You could try the cloud gaming using Fortnite, the game that everyone knows and loves. So you know what you're getting into, so you can get that experience. Like,
Yeah, works very well. Xbox, obviously, Call of Duty coming. I have nothing really to say. Good for them. New season dropped. Season 5 dropped as well. Just before this got added. So good time for people who want to check out Call of Duty before the new one. I'm just waiting for the new COD at this point.
Yeah, I think that was it. Like, I think it was a really good time to do it. I think it's a shame that they announced this after the price hike. I think it would have been a better pill to swallow if they did it during the price hike. It'd be like, we are going to put the prices up, but by getting the new Call of Duty on there, and you're getting the next one as well that's coming, or you're getting the latest one and the new one, I think it would have been a little bit of an easier pill to swallow. But I think, having it drop at the same time as Season 5 makes total sense. I think it's a really good addition. Gets people involved and, excited who wouldn't have tried it before to be like, okay, I'll give it a go. But I've not tried. I don't know. Is Modern Warfare a part of cloud gaming as well?
I would have thought so.
I can check.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I do not.
I'm pretty sure you still need BattleNet for Call of Duty, if I'm not mistaken.
That's PC though.
Yeah, it's PC. We're talking about Xbox cloud gaming.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, I don't know, because of that. I don't know. Don't ignore me. My head's all over the place right now.
Yeah,
I woke up an hour ago. Leave him alone.
Everything I just said.
It's not coming up in the searches, so I don't think it is at the moment on cloud gaming.
I blame BattleNet. I don't know why, but I'm blaming BattleNet right now.
I blame BattleNet. Yeah, damn it, BattleNet. Sort your stuff out.
It's BattleNet's fault. Maybe BattleNet made this happen as well. Stalker 2 delayed again, this time by 2 months, so devs can fix unexpected anomalies. Kind of a bit of sad news for Stalker 2. I feel like every time this game just gets Steam, or we got the new show in at Xbox's showcase, the last one they just did, looks really good. Probably the best show in for Stalker 2. We were all excited to play the game. I know we're still probably excited to play the game, but it does feel like this game of like, it just keeps on getting delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. The statement they put out here is, quote, "We know that you might be tired of waiting, and we truly appreciate your patience. These 2 additional months will give us a chance to fix more, quote, unexpected anomalies, end quote, or simple bugs, as you can call them. We are always grateful for your ongoing support and understanding. It means the world to us. We're just as eager as you are to finally release the game and for you to experience it for yourself," end quote. This is from the game's director, Yevhen Grigorgoyich.
Nailed it, maybe. I think
that was as close as you get.
Gorovich.
You would know. You got a weird last name as well.
Yevhen Gigorovich. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I feel called out and I don't like it.
I'm sorry. I love you. Yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad, but not surprised in a weird way. And honestly, when was this going to be coming out? This was going to be coming out.
It's not a big delay.
Yeah. I mean, September was busy anyway, right?
Yeah, I think the problem they're going to have is that like this whole, like the winter season's usually busy for games regardless. So I don't think this is a move to like try and avoid something or anything like that. I think it's just they needed more time for it.
Yeah, they're scared of Astrobot. We get it. They're scared of Astrobot. It makes sense.
I'm scared of Astrobot. I wake up in a cold sweat every night thinking that Astrobot's coming for me. No, I mean, yeah, like it's not great to see delays after delays, but like this game has gone through some major
Wars.
things that like I'm gonna say like they've gone through some major stuff just to get to this point, so I'm happy waiting a few more months. As part of, they did drop a new release date trailer, which at the end of it they did say that we'll get a developer deep dive next month, so August 12th. So we're going to see more of the game then, which I'm interested to see. But yeah, like again, I always give developers like what my stance is always like take as long as you need. Like a bad game, it can only be a delayed game is fine, but a bad game has got a lot to get over at that initial launch. So take the extra time to fix it if you need to. And these guys specifically, like we said, they've gone they were based in the Ukraine, so they've gone through more than a lot of developers have trying to make games. So yeah, take as much time as you need to get it right, because you can only make one great first impression.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Next up, Humble Bundle. For people who know this, again, probably a weird one to talk about on this podcast, just because it doesn't really affect Xbox players at all. But still, nonetheless, let's talk about it. Humble Bundle has announced plans to restructure amid what it's calling changing economic times for indie publishing, with several former employees reporting that they've been laid off. According to Polygon, Noel Carpenter, the layoffs affected 36 workers. I mean, I've been a big user of Humble Bundle for many years. So yeah, what? Eastbourne, I'm going to revert back to you again.
Okay.
What's going on?
So, it's not specifically Humble Bundle. It is Humble Games, which is their kind of subsidiary, kind of like publishing arm that do a lot of their like indie titles that they push out. Yeah.
My statement, this makes perfect sense for being on the My Xbox Me podcast. I'd like to cancel myself.
I can do that for you. You're cancelled. But yeah, no, very much like it is. So the thing that sucks about this is the conflicting reports that we got, and it is very much a case of what it feels like Humble trying to cover their backs in a really shitty way. So from what I've read and what I've been following so far, basically Humble Games had 36 staff members. Ziff Davis, who own Humble, basically they own IGN, they own a ton of places. They're one of these kind of like the Tencent of publishing and kind of marketing and stuff. They basically have been trying to sell Humble Games for a couple of times apparently, and they haven't been able to. So what they've done now is they have let everybody go as part of Humble Games, which was 36 staff members, and they are basically outsourcing that work to other people, to like third parties, is what I've been reading. But then Humble have like, oh no, we've not shuttered the entire department. We're just like, we restructured. But it sounds like, from what I've seen of the staff members that used to work there, they have shuttered the entire department and have just moved it to like a third party, kind of like keep the wheels going, as it were.
Keep
without
the plates spinning.
Exactly. So whatever plates are up in the air, like they're still spinning, but they've got a third party dealing with them for now. What I have heard is like been a lot of reports of the developers that were working with Humble have basically been left completely in the dark.
Sounds about right.
From this. So like I can't remember the game, but there was people that were saying that basically the first they heard about it was when the press release went out, when it started getting reported on, and they have no way of updating their game on consoles because they only have access to the Steam backend, so they can only do Steam updates, but the console updates was all handled by Humble directly. So because they know they don't have that back-end access, they can push out updates to Steam as much as they want. But yeah, if it comes to an Xbox, like console updates, there's no real way of doing it. So the kind of like, this is where it's going to start affecting console gaming, Xbox as well, is that, you're going to see some of these games that won't be getting updates as quick as possible. And it's not a good time if you're a Humble Games game fan.
Oh damn! I'm glad I pushed you because I didn't know any of that information. Christian,
This feels so messy. I knew half the information, so I knew more than you.
I've been on holiday for 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's my excuse. That's my excuse.
Hey, I've been in the lands between. I've got excuses for not knowing these things.
So you're in the industry now. You're expected to know things despawn.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you edit videos, all right? You have to take a lot of information.
That is it, yeah. Like there was a big thing about Stardew having updates that I'd learned specifically from editing videos. And it's just like,
big Stardew update. I know you've been. Well,
no, I'm not massively, but I've got a wife downstairs who is super waiting for that update to drop on console.
Does your wife even know there was an update, or do you inform her that there's an update? No, she knew.
She informed me there was an update.
Okay.
So TLDR, basically, she went to London when the update dropped.
Best place on earth.
Yeah, I think she came back with diseases. It's fine.
Makes sense.
Yeah, London, right? No, but so basically, she asked me to borrow the Switch because she wanted to take it with her. I'm very wary about letting consoles go out of the house because I don't want to get broken.
You're one of those guys.
Yeah, like I buy the super transportable console that I don't want to ever leave the house. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, she was like, I want to take it with me and download the update and play the update and check out all the new things. But like, you can't because the update's on Steam.
Oh.
Yeah. It is coming, but we don't know when.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Capcom shareholder Q&A.
For this one, I picked out some questions that I thought were interesting.
Then why don't you read them to us, Crash?
All right. Question number 1. Please tell me what plans you have for the Mega Man series. This is a Q&A. Yeah, shareholder. You already said that. Ignore me.
She's done.
Ignore
He's so
me.
cooked on if you guys don't send him some trash, and everyone tweet at Crash what you're thinking about his performance on this week's podcast.
I deserve whatever. Like,
Crash, carry on.
So, please tell me what plans you have for the Mega Man series. The answer that Capcom gave them was, Mega Man is one of our highly valued IPs, and we are considering how to create games for it on an ongoing basis. Either of you Mega Man fans?
No.
Nope.
I pretended to be a Mega Man fan when I was big into Kind of Funny. When I was watching that religiously, because Colin was a huge Mega Man fan, and to be the fan that I was, because I was all in, I tried to be a Mega Man fan. No. I
thought this was an interesting non-answer, but you know.
Are you a Mega Man fan?
Yeah, I like Mega Man. I like Mega Man a lot.
Would you be excited for a new Mega Man?
Excited. I don't know. Like it could go either way. It could be like, oh wow, they made a new version of an old Mega Man. I don't want them to go into a completely new direction, but that's a whole different conversation. I think that's too much work for Mega Man because Mega Man's kind of up in the air right now. Yeah. At this point, especially, yeah. Next question, which has to do with physical game sales. The ratio of physical game sales is decreasing as end users' need for digital is increasing. What is your outlook on physical games and the company's policy regarding this? Their answer was, given the significant number of end users demand physical games, we currently do not expect to eliminate physical products. Which I think is... Yeah. We've seen a few people like start to pull out from physical releases and stick to digital. So I thought that was an interesting point to see somebody like Capcom. What is it?
Are you laughing at pull out by any chance?
I am.
Yeah. I thought you might be.
I'm 32 years old, baby. My birthday was last week. I still laugh at fart jokes and pull out jokes around it. What a joke, but in my head, I'm being
no joke there.
I know. I'm
saying the words nothing.
Sorry, good help it.
Moving on.
Good guy Capcom, right? Like, look, Capcom don't need to be rocking the boat in any way, shape, or form. As a huge Resident Evil fan, I would hate if they pulled out of making Resident Evil physical copies.
I understand how teachers feel when they're in class and students just start randomly laughing as they're speaking.
Sorry, I can't help it.
He said pull out.
I'm sorry. I am. I'm an adult, I swear. I will. All right, let's go. All right, cool.
Yeah, next question.
Yeah, next one, Chris.
The next question. Wouldn't you be able to capture more profit by bumping up the release date for the next Monster Hunter title, currently scheduled for 2025 to the December 2024 holiday season? Capcom's response was, we plan to announce the release timing for the latest Monster Hunter title once preparations are complete. We hope you are looking forward to it. We remain committed to achieving our goal of 10% or better operating profit each fiscal year. And then the next question is, because they kind of tie it together. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, this one's a little bit different, I guess. But yeah, this is kind of just a looking into like shareholders. I thought was really interesting on how they view it. Of like, you could just release a game earlier to the point of Stalker 2 being delayed. Like, you could just release it earlier and make money faster. And that's sort of where this decision we see like across the industry that ends up hurting a lot of games.
This is one of those interesting questions where I feel like tone would be key. Because I wonder if this is just someone who has invested in Capcom, doesn't understand games. It's just like a genuine question of like, hey, we had to make more money if you just bumped it up, you know, like, and they don't understand our industry at all. Or if it's just like some, you know, big wig chief is like, hey, bump it up. We need money now. Like, you know, tone changes there's a difference it's in tone there.
I would take it as like a mix of both, probably. You know, they want a little bit more profits this year, plus a little bit of not understanding the industry completely, but also probably a little bit of not caring to understand the industry as well.
Are you making me money? That's all that matters. Are you making me money?
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
The final question, when asked about Street Fighter 6 DLC and its relations to profits this year, the response was, in providing DLC, our objective is for players to enjoy their purchase for a long period of time, which we hope leads to an increased user satisfaction. We believe that players enjoying games for longer periods of time connects to stable reviews from the market and capturing new players, and as such is helpful in strengthening brands.
100%.
Yeah. I actually like really love this quote in response from Capcom, because I do think that Capcom's kind of lived up to this lately. Like, their sort of commitment to players to a degree has led to like huge brand loyalty for them.
I think, not just this one, but the last couple of questions that they've had here, I think it all leads to them understanding and respecting their customer base. Of being like, we will work towards making sure you get physical products if you want physical products. We're not going to push a game out early if we don't think it's ready for the customers, so that they get the best product that they get when they pay their money for it. And the DLC, their answer is very much a case of like, it's not that we want to put it out because it'll give us more profits. We understand it because it makes customers respect our games better, and that is then, they've not said it here really, but it is very much a case of like, people know when they get a Capcom game, it's going to be a good game for a long time, and that builds good word of mouth with our current user base to bring in a new user base.
I think we're way more forgiving on Exo Primal because it was Capcom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, as a whole, because it was like, one miss.
Mm-hmm.
If Ubisoft or EA dropped Exo Primal, it would have gotten a million more articles than it did, and it would have been dragged by gamers. But yeah, you're 100% right. I think even the latest game that came out, a lot more people were like more open to it possibly being good, just because again, it is Capcom, and Capcom very rarely miss.
I think they hit the nail on the head in terms of like helpful and strengthening brands. It is a weird thing, right? Like we all have our loyalties to certain companies in one way, shape, or form, and it does play in hand with like, if you're playing a game from said company for a long period of time, then they put out their next game, even if they are drastically different in what they are, for some reason, I bet you look at it more favorable. I bet there is, especially in terms of reviews, right? Like, if you're a Capcom fan, like, you know, I'm a Resident Evil fan, you're more likely to even go in and review the game. So it does build that loyalty and that brand and strength 100%.
Yeah, and it's also I was gonna say, it's a thing of like, with the DLC being like a big focus of that last question, is you can go in supporting a game knowing that like, whether a DLC comes out or not is not a profit-based question necessarily, and it's more like to appease the fan base, right? And so you're more easily, especially with a game like Street Fighter, which is a fighting game that you want to have longevity, you're more willing to like go in and give it a chance as well.
Yeah. I think it's that adding quality and quantity in equal measure. And it's not just because it's solely based on like profit margin. It's very much like we want to give the customers the best user experience they can get for the money that they're paying. And like you say, it builds that brand loyalty a little bit. Like we say it many times, even on the games that we're not too sure about, Capcom don't miss. And it's because we don't say that because, you know, they have 10 out of 10 games all the time. Sometimes they have a 7 or 8. But even those, like, we know they're going to be fun and we know they're going to be well supported. And, you know, we know that Capcom care about what they're putting out. They're not just doing it to hit a quota. And like we say with the Monster Hunter Worlds, is it Worlds now the new one? Or Wilds?
Wilds, I think.
Wilds is a new one, right? Yeah. I think we know that they're not going to push that out quickly because they know that they want to give a experience. So yeah, I don't know. Like I like their responses to this, and yeah, I'm interested to see. I want to see more companies like speak like this.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, it's a very easy to process, like shareholders Q&A sort of thing, where I feel like a lot of times it's just like an overload of information that feels a lot of times is intentional to confuse shareholders into not knowing what they're looking at. Or this feels like it's very like down and direct.
Well, and by the way, this was put out by Capcom.
Yep.
They put out the whole Q&A with comments, like the whole, like a minute's meeting here for people to just go and read, which you don't see this level of transparency from every company. Like, you know, I agree with you. I really do like this from Capcom. Easy to digest. They know that we're going to go and write the articles and talk about it on podcasts and things like that. Why try and hide that?
Yeah.
You laughing at?
I'm just waving on podcasts. Hi, we're on a podcast.
Okay.
Did you know you're on a podcast right now? Just want to make sure. I know you've been away and like you're not right with it, but you know.
I'm just here. I'm just existing.
Just existing.
I'm just existing. Despawn.
Hi.
Ubisoft issue statement to Japanese players. I would love it if you would read this 4 pages out to us, if possible, please.
Okay.
I do not want to.
You're not down for a 4-page thing? Well, luckily, I just brought it up in front of me because I figured that might happen. All right, let's do this. Strap yourself in, boys and girls, and non-binary friends. This is a long one.
Yep.
All right, so so this is the Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft posted this out on not that long ago, actually. But yeah, so to our esteemed Japanese community, a message from the Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for your support for the Assassin's Creed series, which now has its own history spanning almost 20 years. Over this time, we have explored various settings, time periods, and characters from an Assassin's during the Third Crusade to a Viking in 9th century England and countless more. For many of our team, creating an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan has been a long-cherished dream. Just to bump in, same. Glad we're getting it. Since the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we have received many positive reactions, but also some criticism, including from you, Japanese players. We share your passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of your rich heritage. We'd like to stress a few points to clarify intentions and creative decisions. Overall authenticity efforts. We've put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical settings we get inspired by.
Wait, hold it there. Because Crash is shaking her head. Talk to me, Crash. I'd love for you to interject. Go on.
I was just kind of reacting to no shit.
No shit.
Yeah. Really? Really?
Of course, it's not based on reality.
So wait, it's not a historical fact that you can jump into people's memories through their DNA? What?
Crazy.
Kind of cool.
Would be kind of cool. Yeah.
No, yeah. Sorry, carry on.
So Assassin's Creed Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal Japan. Our team extensively collaborated with external consultants, historians, researchers, and internal teams at Ubisoft Japan to inform our creative choices. So again, not real, based on the idea of feudal Japan, but none of it is based on full historical fact. They may take elements from it, but yeah. So yeah, and then the next up they followed, despite these sustained efforts, we acknowledge that some elements in our promotional materials have caused concern within the Japanese community. For this, we sincerely apologize. All game footage presented so far is in development, and the game will keep evolving until launch. Based on the constructive criticism we have received, remember, constructive criticism we have received, we will continue our efforts until we put this game into your hands and beyond. We also want to clarify that while we have been consulting with many people throughout the development process, they are in no way responsible for decisions that are taken by the creative teams in the interests of gameplay and entertainment. Consequently, we respectfully request that any criticism not be directed at our collaborators, both internal and external.
Yeah, stop coming at me.
Everybody blame Fix.
Yeah.
It's Fix's fault.
Yeah. And then finally, they say on the creative liberties and historical inspirations, while we strive for authenticity in everything we do, Assassin's Creed games are work of fiction inspired by real historical events and figures. From its inception, the series has taken creative license and incorporated fantasy elements to craft engaging and immersive experiences. The representation of Yasuke in our game is an illustration of this. His unique and mysterious life made him an ideal candidate to tell an Assassin's Creed story, setting a feudal Japan as a backdrop. While Yasuke is depicted as a samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we acknowledge that this is a matter of debate and discussion. We have woven this carefully into our narrative, and with our other lead character, the Japanese shinobi Naoe, who is equally important in the game. Our dual protagonists provide players with different gameplay styles. We greatly value your feedback and encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts, respectively, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, basically just saying the game is coming out on November 15th. Yeah.
My question for both of you is, was this needed? Or did this draw more attention to something that was a vocal minority?
I don't think it was. I don't think it was needed, but there's a small portion of this that I really like, and that's the bit where they talk about like who to blame and land those criticism, and calling some of it criticism, I think is a little, but they're trying to play nice, saying essentially don't like look at our collaborators, don't look at us for the criticism, don't look at people like even internally, right? And so I don't think I think the last page is the page that I really don't think is super necessary. I think talking about it to a degree isn't bad. I do think that it's a bit too much. Like, I think they could have given a smaller statement. I don't think they needed to say everything they said.
Yeah, I think so. The problem is that, well, they could have just said nothing or said like, a few little pleasantries. The fact that they did we talk about it in here? But basically, this conversation got to Japanese government levels.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so basically, I think it was basically the culture minister or the equivalent of culture and basically respecting Japanese culture. They have a specific area in their government for this. They were basically asked the question are we worried about this? Is this going to be, a problem? And they were like, it's a video game. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not worried. But yeah, so I think if the Japanese, I think the fact that it got to that level is ridiculous, but the fact that the government have been like, whatever. But I think the fact that it has got to that level means they had to come out with something at some point and be like, Ubisoft as a company have to say, like, we're aware there's going to be inaccuracies. Like, there's even inaccuracies in the historical fact about Yasuke. So, we're taking big liberties with the story in general. And yeah, like, they've pointed out blatantly obvious things that we should all be very aware of, in the fact that all Assassin's Creed games take some elements of historical fact and make them this fantastical journey. Like, prime example, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you genuinely hang out with gods and, you play as Thor and, you do all these ridiculous... Yeah, you do all these ridiculous things within the game. And, like, it's not all fact, dude. But, just, like, I'm going to call a spade because a black dude is your main character in feudal Japan. It's all of a sudden an issue. Really?
I'm shocked.
Really? Yeah. We all know why it's an issue, but no one's going to say it. But you know what? I don't get paid to be here, so I'm going to say it. You're saying it because you're a little bit racist sometimes. Just saying.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
But
I don't work for Ubisoft, so I can say stuff.
I'm not saying I can say stuff.
Say your stuff,
like I say, yeah, no, I don't really. Like I said, I don't really have much to add on there. I think you summed it up quite nicely, to be honest with you. I just don't know if it was necessary. Is my opinion on it. But then again, like I say, I come at that from like, this is not a Ubisoft isolated issue. I think this is, I agree with Crash. I do think it's nice to see a company come out and be like, hey, if you've got criticisms of things, do not start aiming them at people that shouldn't be aimed at, because ultimately the line is drawn with us being whatever the game company is, in quote. And yeah, I think that's a nice thing to say and put out there to an audience, to be honest with you. Especially as someone, again, I work online for Ubisoft. I come at a lot of those criticisms, again, from a much smaller community, because obviously it's just Twitch, right? But yeah, it's nice to see a company come out and actually say that. And then I don't know. I'm in some ways very happy they've done this. And I think it's a very smart thing to do. In other ways, I feel like it's rewarding the bad actors who are just who are saying they got a reaction. They got what they wanted in some ways, which was that reaction. Well, so yeah,
I saw articles and stuff like that of people who are very against Yusuke for everything that Despawn said. That like they were eating this up as if they won, which is not at all what Ubisoft said or Ubisoft did, but they'll paint it as a win because their racist tendencies sort of like got a gaze back at them.
It got a reaction, right?
It got a modicum of legitimization when it shouldn't have got nothing, basically. It's such a hard line to tread for a company like I said, when it got to the government levels, like you've got to say something.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Is that response warranted at this level? Like, they could, for my jaw alone after reading all that, they could have kept this to a one pager. Yeah. Please, next time.
Yeah. No, I agree with you that.
But yeah, like I agree that they probably had to say something at that point, but like to this level, I don't think they needed to warrant some of those discussions. But yeah, again, when they start going for people that are not directly involved in the decisions as well, then yeah, maybe they need to, as a company, step up like, yo, stop going for those people.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
It's time for Guess That Game. This is our weekly game show within the show, where one of us will pick a game, and it is up to the other people on the podcast. Guess that game. You have 90 seconds to do so. It has to be a game that is released on Xbox. But that's about it. Those are the rules. We go back and forth. So we will start with Fresh this week. Okay. Because, I just love that disappointing look on Fix's face. I'm just going to bring up a timer. But while I do that, Fix, do you want to tell us what the scores are currently?
Crash currently sitting at 9 points for the season. Matt, who doesn't have COVID and is faking it, has 3 points. You, Despawn, have 5 points, and I am currently sitting at 6 points.
Okay, let me reset my timer. I have my timer. There you go. I won't keep it up on screen, but you've seen it. 90 seconds, starting with Crash. Begin right now.
360 game?
No.
Xbox One game.
Yes.
Capcom.
No.
EA.
No.
Big publisher.
Yeah.
Rockstar.
No.
Third person game.
Yes.
Sports game.
No.
Action adventure.
I'd say so. Yep. Yes. Sorry, I looked down the genre, so yes.
Square Enix.
No.
Have we said EA?
Yes.
No.
I did say EA.
Yes, you did, but no is the answer.
Oh, for goodness sake. Online?
It has online elements, so yes. Actually. Sorry, scratch that. No, this one doesn't.
Okay.
No. Okay, this one doesn't. Okay. Got you. Take Two.
No. 30
Bungie.
seconds. No.
Activision.
Yes.
Okay. Has it had games on previous generations before this generation?
No.
Is it based on an IP?
No. 5 seconds.
Does it have a sequel? A numbered sequel?
No.
Okay. So third person, action adventure, Activision game, an original
On Xbox One.
on Xbox One that doesn't have sequels. An Activision game.
Activision. Sorry, one more time. Go for that for me.
Xbox One game.
Yep.
Activision game.
Yep.
Third person.
Yep.
Action adventure. No sequels.
Single
Not
player.
based off an IP. Single player. Activision game. I think I'm completely stumped on this.
Doesn't have a. It has a sequel that's not a number.
No, I didn't say that.
No. He answered. He answered the sequel question before you finished, so it has no sequel whatsoever.
Yeah. Also, there isn't one with a number either.
Yeah, so a one off on the Xbox One.
Action adventure Activision game is enough for me to I should be able to get the answer from that alone.
You're gonna kick yourself when you hear it. But go on. Anyone got any guesses?
I need a second, bro. Like,
I mean, because
you can call us to force an answer whenever you like.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that right away.
Like, I don't know if you want to do this, but because I think I've picked a hard one, not a ridiculously hard one, but I will allow on this occasion for you both to ask one more question if you want.
Female protagonist?
No.
RPG.
In the classic sense, no.
Okay.
Bro, I can't think of anything Activision.
I have
the only Activision.
Nothing.
You said platformer as well, right?
No, nobody.
We didn't ask about platformer.
No. This is just action adventure, third person, an original game. Well, yeah, I got nothing.
This might be the first week. Do you know what? I feel like we should do a rule. If you stump us both, we can't even think of a guess. You should get a point. Like,
I'm down. I'll take a point.
This is going to be that hard. I don't think it's even going to be that hard.
No, I feel like I'm going to feel stupid after we get the game.
No, it's
not.
I'll
say, so.
So it's not Crash Bandicoot. Crash, do you want to have a wild stab at that?
I'm going to get Crash Bandicoot as well. I got nothing.
Okay.
I can't even think of a game.
So the publisher is Activision. It is a single-player action adventure that came out on Xbox One. This is why you're going to kick yourself. Think about what I've been playing recently.
Elden Ring.
Yeah. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Sekiro.
Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot that was Activision.
So did I.
Yeah, I should have classified, is that like published by or is developed? Because I was thinking Activision developed games and not.
They published it. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're 100% right.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even think of that. Good one. No, that's not hard. That's not hard. You were 100%.
We should have got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had enough info to get it as well.
Yeah.
It was just okay.
Let us know in the comments if you got it. Be honest.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Don't you dare lie. Be honest.
Don't lie. We'll know. And we'll come for your gran.
All right, let's jump into fixes that before we get out of here. First one. This comes from Origin Cookie Man. Remember, you can email them, my Xbox and me, podcast@gmail.com, or join the Discord in the link below of this podcast, audio and video. First one. Our review scores.
Aggregation.
Yeah, I was debating whether. Okay, our review scores aggregation sites too easy to manipulate when scores from influential source are given more weight. Should negative outliers be given less weight / ignored? Is the first question here from Origin Cookie Man.
I just want to say on the back end for the should negative outliers be ignored, would you ignore a positive outlier?
No.
If the answer to that is no, then the answer to the other one is no as well, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, agree. I don't think it should be ignored. One thing I would say, I know it's easy to say it on the outside when we use those scores as kind of conversation points, but don't put all of your opinions on other people's scores.
No.
Check out our next reviews though when they come out, and definitely take our word for gospel.
Yeah, but I don't think you should watch our reviews for the score at the end. You should watch our review for what
the opinion of
said
the
person has to say about the game. I think if you're one of these people who see 7 and go, no, not buying it, I truthfully think you're an idiot. I just don't think that isn't a well thought out way of deciding whether to buy a game. Now, what I will say is a 7 from your favorite YouTuber who is the JRPG guy should hold a hell of a lot more weight than a 7 from me who plays a variety of different games, right? I think making an educated decision based on multiple sources is important. And no, I don't think should outliers be ignored or way less. No, not at all. I think there's a website called Metacritic where you have to jump through many hoops to get a Metacritic to be able to be on Metacritic. Yes, there's a lot of websites on there, and some of them do feel very unfair. You'll see certain games. I think I remember Flintlock, I was looking at the reviews for that, and someone scored it a 1. And it's
really? Is that game
really?
Is it unplayable? Really? Yeah.
And then if you read it as well, you're like, okay, this was not. I don't know how they made it onto this website. So it's one of those ones where it's yeah, I don't know. I don't think I don't think you can ignore. You either ignore it all or don't ignore any of it. 80 on Metacritic means 80 on Metacritic. Doesn't make it any better than a 7 from my Xbox and me.
Yeah.
It's just an 80 on Metacritic. So take the good with the bad, take the bad with the good is my opinion on all of that personally.
Agreed.
Yep.
Next question from Orange Cookie Man as well. It says, if Xbox Studio players numbers are high at pre-COD on Game Pass, will its arrival light up a third-party beacon to the tune of, quote, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, end quote, or, quote, I came in like a wrecking ball, end quote? No.
Oh, sorry, I was vibing.
No, I think people who get COD on Game Pass are going to play COD on Game Pass. And you'll see that a few of those people, and when I say a few, I mean a few thousand maybe, or maybe we'll go for 100,000 if you want to go for that type of number, will try other things. But no, people who play COD play COD. And converting them even over to Game Pass is going to be a hard sell anyway. So no,
I think
my best example for this was, again, my buddy Mickey plays FIFA, plays FIFA, plays COD, plays UFC. I remember when FIFA went into went into EA Access, and I was like, "Yo, go sell your physical copy of FIFA so you can play it on Game Pass." Adamant, no. Why would I do that? Why would I bother? It's because you can get £25 for it, pay for EA Access, and then you've got all these other games. No, don't care. Don't want that. Then UFC got added to it, and I was like, "Look, UFC's on there now." I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. So no, I don't think it's going to be this light up third party beacon where you're going to see COD go on Game Pass and then Hellblade's now. Now everyone's playing Hellblade. I just don't see that happening.
I think there will be a small crossover of people well, I'm bored of the season, there's too many cheaters, blah, 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 whatever it is. I'm going to go take a break and play something else. Maybe they'll jump into a couple of games that are in there, but the amount of that crossover is not going to be as you say, the milkshake brings all the boys to the yard level of conversions. I don't think it's going to have that much of a needle mover impact that people are thinking it is. There will definitely be some people who'll be like, "Well, I'm not going to." Yeah, for COD. Yeah,
and I'm sure even Game Pass subscriber numbers will go up. I agree. I don't know how much that's sort of a situation where it's like you have to wait and see how people perceive the subscription service that don't normally use it. Because there's an off chance that people are like, oh wow, Game Pass is really cool, and you see them dipping into more games and stuff like that. But COD's also a super casual game, so there's a possibility that people just pay the subscription, play Call of Duty, and what other big games happen to end up on Game Pass. You do have the EA thing. I'd imagine the EA Play games will get a lot of play, your FIFAs and whatever else.
Madden Trial might be there, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check that out.
I'm sure those would get some looks, but anything other than that, I think is more of a wait and see situation to how a more casual audience who comes for Call of Duty receives Game Pass.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Next up comes from Ken Doyle, who says, are there any games you bounced off of but come back to and enjoyed it at a later attempt? Also, are there games that you loved for the first few hours, then found your enjoyment changed? Elden Ring's the first one that comes to mind, obviously, right now. For me, obviously, played it, gave it number 5 on my list. Obviously, because we all know it was a great game. Without the memeing, there's not meme on me for now. We all knew it was a great game. I knew that it would eventually click with me, and I knew if I gave it the right amount of time and chance, I would enjoy it. And then once I did that, it did exactly that, you know? It's a very special game, and I really enjoy it. To think about something else, on the other side, I don't know. I'd have to think about it, Crash. Have you got one that comes to mind instantly? Oh, decent one, actually. You go, because you're going to talk about Elden Ring, I would have thought.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about Elden Ring. That's all I talk about nowadays. Elden Ring is 100% that. I definitely hit like a wall in the first time. Like, this ain't for me. I don't care about these games. I hate them. They're the worst thing that ever been made. Please someone think of the children. And now I'm like, all I can think about is fighting that next boss. And I 100% now I'll come back to it and I'm going through it again. It is the poster child for this question. It is that game that I have dropped off and quit, uninstalled, and never thought about again. And then I've bought it on PC after playing it on PlayStation. And I'm now running through bosses left, right, and center because I love it so much. On the flip side of it, there's not a game that jumps out like instantly. Maybe Battlefield.
Okay, yeah,
is a good shot. Like I want to say, like the last Battlefield is a good one. Like I enjoyed the first few hours of it, and then as I spent more time with it, I've just kind of like it's just not hitting as well as it should, and it just didn't feel that great when I started comparing it to earlier Battlefields. After a while, I've just like completely dropped off that series because of it.
Crash, you got anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I have like a series, sure. Like I wasn't super into the first Titanfall, and I ended up playing the second Titanfall way later, and I love that. But as for like an individual game, I don't think I've ever had that sort of rubber band on that side. I've had the rubber band on the other side, where but even that is never so drastic that I end up hating the game. It's just the love I had for the game originally isn't as high. I think we're talking about Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree. I think that sort of happened a little bit. What's the Dragon's Dogma that came out earlier this year? I had that. That was probably the biggest example of that, where I still enjoy the game, but like I absolutely loved it the first week I was playing it. And then the sort of issues start, like I can't ignore these issues anymore, and they're very relevant. But I don't think, other than that, I can't really think too many times where it's happened that it's really like made me dislike a game.
Baldur's Gate 3
when I get bored.
For me, maybe the opposite way. Like when we played it, I enjoyed it, but I got overwhelmed by it very quickly and was like, oh god, this is probably not for me. It's too slow, it's too this, it's too that. And then the full game comes out, you're like, you know what, let me actually give this the college try. And you're like, okay, this is probably the greatest RPG ever made, if we're being honest, like for me. Yeah, definitely that. Again, another one, I guess Hogwarts Legacy would be up there for me, of a game of like, on paper and the beginning of Hogwarts Legacy, I really enjoy it. I remember playing it through on stream and being like, yeah, I really enjoy this game. Never beat the game. I only put 12 hours into it in the end. Like, and just it dropped off pretty quickly of like, kind of samey. Story's not really that great, you know, like I'm sure I could get through this and enjoy it. But there wasn't enough meat on the bone per se, to be honest with you, for that one.
Yeah, I think I agree with Crash on Dragon's Dogma too. Again, kind of same thoughts. Like when I put my time into it originally, I really enjoyed those first few moments, learning to get to grips with the combat and stuff like that. And those like moment for moment set piece battles that you get into that just happen out of nowhere are fantastic. But then the more you play it and the story isn't really there, and yeah, but by the time you've fought like 4 of the same big epic fight, it very much feels very samey. And yeah, like the combat growth and grind for that just didn't feel like it was worth it. And yeah, I think I got very like pretty close to the end, but like I have no like desire to go back and finish it. I will at some point do that for end of the year discussions, but yeah, I very like the shine that was there at the beginning very quickly dropped off for me.
Rainbow Six. Hated that game.
Yeah,
hated that game with a passion. That game sucked. It was awful. What was this movement? What was all this leaning? That I came off of. I was a huge Rainbow Six Vegas 2 fan. Huge. So third person. That also we went into first person as well, but it was jarring. I didn't think it was that good. Like just the whole game, and then something clicked, and then it became the game that I played every single day without fail. You know, so yeah, those are a few that come to mind. But on like a vitriol hatred level, Rainbow Six is probably the best example of like, why on earth did I even waste money on this game? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. This sucks. Yada yada yada. To oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Anything
Very interesting.
The opposite effect that you loved
Harry
it,
Potter. Harry Potter, I would say, is probably the one I'd go with.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed Harry Potter at the start and then just fell off. I think a sequel for that would be really good. Way better than what the original was. But you know, there's people out there that love that, so it's what it is. Boys, that is it from us. Let's plug, get ourselves out of here. Despawn, we got to plug this week.
I'm gonna plug us. Go, kick in and down the stairs and do the Spotify reviews. Come on, chop.
Happens.
And the Apple Podcasts, all the stuff.
Chop. I like it. Crash, we got to plug.
The YouTube page and the Twitch channel. Go subscribe and follow for anything we do over there. We have stuff we got to talk about to deliver content, but content is coming.
I don't want to throw Matt under the bus or anything, but that's Matt. All right,
under the bus now.
He thanked COVID, and now he's holding us up on projects. All right, I'm just sad. I'm putting it out there.
He said he wants $1 million for us to continue. This is crazy.
Said we didn't raise enough money for the stream that we did. And he will not do any of the goals until we reach $1 million on my personal Patreon, so I can give him the money. Yep, 100%.
I also accept PayPal.
Yeah. What I'll say is, if you're watching the video version and you made it this far, go and like and share and comment on the YouTube channel. Desmon's been doing a great job with the new thumbnails. I really like them. Let us know in the Discord and on the YouTube channel if you like the new thumbnails as well. I think they look so much better. And yeah, just keep being positive, keep being you guys. We'll keep bringing you good content. And until next time, I love you. Leave it. See you later. Good boys.